I know it's a little hard to forget and too painful to remember, but let's take a little trip down memory lane to 2020, during the height of the COVID-19 pandemic, when the world literally shut down. People were being told to stay home, businesses were closed, and suddenly your right to freely move was restricted. In Australia, for instance, strict lockdown measures meant you couldn't leave your home for more than 1 hour in some places. And people started to ask, can the government really do that? Can they restrict our freedom of movement like this? Well, the answer might surprise you. Yes, they can. But how is that possible if we are supposed to enjoy some certain rights? Hi guys, welcome back. In this video, I will be talking about the categories of rights that you have. We all have fundamental rights. For example, the right to life. But what many don't know is that some of these rights can be restricted in certain circumstances, while some others cannot be touched at all. It all comes down to whether a right is considered absolute or qualified. Let's talk about absolute rights. These are non negotiable, and no government, no matter the circumstance, can restrict or limit them. An example is the right to life. But what about qualified rights? These are a bit more flexible, and the pandemic was a good example of that. These rights can be limited for public health, safety, and national security reasons. So, when governments were restricting the freedom of movement to stop the spread of COVID 19, they were limiting our rights, yes, but legally. This has to do with the fact that, in certain cases, limiting a right serves the greater good. Now, how does the court decide when it is okay to limit your rights? The court usually uses something called the proportionality test. Basically, they ask, is it absolutely necessary to limit your rights? And is the benefit to society greater than the restriction of the individual's rights? Government cannot just take away your rights for no reason. To sum up, while we often think of our rights as untouchable, trying to understand the difference between absolute and qualified rights helps explain why sometimes our rights can be restricted. The catch still remains that there are checks and balances to try to create some balance and ensure that your rights are not limited for no reason. Question for you. Do you think anything justifies the limitation of rights? Let me know what you think in the comments. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and follow. And I'll see you in the next video.